We knew exactly who the Titans were playing since the season ended back in January. But now we know the exact dates because the Tennessee Titans 2025 NFL schedule has officially released. But before we break it all down, let me know down in the comments. Predict the Titans 2025 schedule for me. Is it going to be above 500? Are they making it back to the playoffs? Or is it going to be a rebuild year? Let me know down in the comments section, and we can get started with today's show. Welcome into Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. And yeah, it's one of my favorite times of the year. We're in the midst of the NBA playoffs, but the NFL always has to creep in and just get a little bit of content. Did you guys like the schedule release video of kind of a prescription of NFL? Yeah, that's exactly how I feel about the Titans. I need some football. I need to see Cam Ward on the field. But let's break down the all 17 games of the Tennessee Titans schedule. Week 1. It's a goddamn doozy, man. You're going into Mile High. You're getting that altitude. First time they've played in Denver since 2020, and it's a great matchup. We get to see Bo Nix against Cam Ward. Pretty sure we saw that back in college when he was with Washington State and Bo Nix was in Oregon. Not 100% sure, but that's going to be a good matchup. But it's a true test. You don't get a cakewalk to start the year. You're going week 1 against the Broncos. Now, week 2. This is kind of, I see a little bit of a toss-up. You got Matthew Stafford and the Rams. The Rams were very disappointing last year, but they ended up making the playoffs, getting to the divisional round, and they almost beat the Eagles. Are they going to be the same team that we saw back in 2024? I'm not 100% sure, but this is going to be another true test. So the first 2 weeks, those are slobber knockers. Then week 3, you get a cakewalk. At home against your first divisional opponent, the Indianapolis Colts, and we don't know who that quarterback is going to be. And honestly, I don't care. I really don't care. If it's Indiana Jones, Mr. Daniel Jones, or Anthony Richardson, does it really matter? That team is an absolute joke, and I could see the Colts being dead last in the division this year. And then you're going right back at it with another divisional opponent, except this time you're traveling to Houston. And I think this is going to be a tough matchup for the Titans. Going up against C.J. Stroud, they've improved their team a ton. They're trying to be just like they were in 2023. A new team that has their franchise quarterback and excelling to the playoffs. And I hope that the Titans are kind of like the Texans 2 years ago. You get your quarterback and you go from worst to first. The question is, you got to get over that hump and you got to beat your divisional opponents back to back. The first 4 weeks, it's going to be tough. I could see it being a 2-2 type record, or I could see it being 1-4. Not 100% sure, but this is a tough first schedule, first quarter of the schedule for the Titans. Then you go over to Arizona and you're playing the Cardinals in week 5. Cardinals really didn't impress me. They had a decent draft, but their free agency moves weren't that impressive. So I think this is going to be it's a toss-up in my opinion. It's all going to be if Cam Ward is comfortable enough to be able to withstand NFL defenses. And week 6, you're going up against the Raiders. And the Raiders, well, they have their quarterback now, but I still don't see them making the playoffs. I don't see it whatsoever. So you have your second 2 weeks of the second quarter of the schedule being 2 possible wins. And then week 7 at home, it's the reunion of Mike Vrabel. This is going to be probably the biggest matchup for the Titans this year just because of all everything that's at stake. Mike Vrabel going back to Tennessee. A bunch of players, Jack Gibbons, Harold Landry, they're going back to Tennessee. Honestly, I thought this was going to be a primetime game, but it's not. It is not a primetime game. Come on, NFL. You got to do better. There's so much at stake. Drake May versus Cam Ward. That is a great quarterback matchup. I was really looking forward to this game, but unfortunately, it's just going to be one of those afternoon games on Sundays. Then week 8, you knock out the Colts early. You get both division matchups done in the first 8 weeks, and I'm okay with that. I really am okay with that. You get your first couple matchups against the Colts, and it you see where you're at. You get 2 easy divisional opponents, and then you also play the Texans, so you have 3 division opponents with the AFC South in the first 8 weeks of the season. So after the first 8 weeks, you'll know if you are going to be able to have a playoff push, or this is just like, okay, this season is just for getting Cam Ward to learn. You've improved this roster a ton. I would hope they compete in every single game, and it's not just a cakewalk for the Broncos. It's not just a cakewalk for the Rams. But you play the Colts, the Cardinals, the Raiders, the Patriots, and then the Colts again. Those are all winnable games. And I think through the first 8 weeks of the season, we are going to know straight up if the Titans are for real and if they're going to have that miraculous turnaround that we saw Washington and Houston do in the past couple years. Now, week 9, you go up against the Chargers, and the Chargers have been so disappointing, man. Absolutely disappointing. I really wanted to say Justin Herbert was a top 5 quarterback, but he hasn't proven it to me. They have no defense. This is a game where Cam Ward could absolutely carve up the Chargers and have that 400-yard game, because you know at some point he's going to have it. And then week 10, I really, really, really enjoyed this bye week. It's not too early. It's not like the first week. I think week 5 is when you can start having your bye weeks, and then week 10 is right in the middle. You're not having a week 14 bye when you're like waiting and waiting and waiting for that bye week. Comes early enough so you can get some rest and then get that momentum going into the end of the year. I really enjoyed a week 10 bye week. The NFL, they're helping out the Titans here. And you can also help us out by supporting the show. Get your Cam Ward jerseys today. Chatsports.com/Ward. He'll be wearing that number 1 after Warren Moon gave him the blessings. I mean, come on. You love the powder blue? I even got on the powder blue polo here for you guys. Same color. It's a beautiful, beautiful jersey. Get yours today because, like I said, he's going to throw a 400-yard pass. Chatsports.com/Ward. We'll have it in the comments and description of today's video. Then week 11. You're at home against the Texans. And this is going to be really the turning point of the season right here. I could see the Titans being 4-6 going into this game, or no, because you have the bye week. You'd be 4-5 after this game, or you could be 6-4. It's a possibility. 5-5, as long as you go in just borderline 500, that's all you really have to ask for. Seahawks at home, if this was in Seattle, this would be a very, very tough matchup. Sam Darnold's going to be the quarterback, or we could have another situation where it's, hey, 2012, we give a guy big money, and then some mobile quarterback comes in and steals the show in preseason with Russell Wilson and Matt Flynn, or it could be Jalen Milroe. Who knows? But most likely we're going to see Sam Darnold. At home, I really like this game. If it was in Lumen Field, I think that's what they call it now, that would not be good. Jaguars week 13, finally you're facing your divisional opponent in the Jags. They're terrible. But there's one thing that I've said. If Liam Cohen and Grant Udinsky can't bring Trevor Lawrence to being a great quarterback, this team they're done. You blow up the team. This could definitely be a game. Then week 14, you have the Browns. And I'm looking forward to this matchup because you're going up against Cleveland, and that's going to be a little interesting. We don't know who the quarterback is going to be. Is it going to be Shedeur Sanders? Is it going to be Dylan Gabriel? Is it going to be Joe Flacco? I honestly have no idea. Week 15, you're going up against the 49ers. They have the easiest schedule out of the NFL. And honestly, they were kind of a joke last year. They got rid of everybody. They left Debo in the dust. They sent him away. And I don't know if they're going to be a great team. So this is where your tough schedule comes in. Week 16, you're going up against the Chiefs. Kansas City. I mean, I'm already chucking that one up as a loss. It's at home, but you're playing the Kansas City Chiefs, man. Mahomes, they have some voodoo magic there. It is what it is. Week 17 against the Saints. We also don't know who that quarterback is going to be. Is it going to be Derek Carr? or Derek Carr retired, sorry. Is it going to be Tyler Shook or someone else? Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shook? This is your opportunity to close the 2025 season on a high note. You played the Chiefs. You're probably going to lose to the Chiefs, but you have the Saints, and then you go home. You go Week 18, your final game of the season, at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Those are final 2 games. That's 2 winnable games, and you can close out the season hot. And if you're trying to have a playoff push because of a weak AFC South, I don't know. It's a possibility that you could be pushing for a 7th seed. The AFC is stacked, so that might be a little tough for you guys. But final 2 games of the season. But if you noticed, I didn't have TNF, I didn't have MNF, I didn't have SNF on any of those games. Why? Because the NFL said, you know what, screw you, Tennessee. You don't deserve a primetime game. There are zero primetime games for the Titans this year. It's disappointing. I think there should be a rule where at least one team, every team gets at least one primetime game. Because the city of Nashville will go crazy if this team is good. And Nissan Stadium will be rocking if it's a home primetime game. Come on, man. You could have made the Patriots-Titans primetime. People would have tuned in to see the reunion of Mike Vrabel against his old team. Come on, NFL. You got to do better than that. You have to do better than that. Just give us one. Like, really? So you can see the final, I want to say 10 weeks of the season. Really enjoy that bye week. I could see you could possibly beat the Seahawks, the Jags, the Browns, the Saints, and the Jaguars. Those are all wins right there. But the over-under is set. The sports books gave it at about 5.5. It's a little low. They're putting you around the same record as the Giants. I think the Titans might be a little bit better than the Giants. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. So I'm asking you guys, if you were to bet, because betting is legal in Nashville, what would you guys go with? O for over or U for under? 5.5 wins for the Titans. Let me know down in the comments section of today's video. And also just don't forget to subscribe. We are having videos out as much as we can. Going to have Titans coverage throughout the entire offseason. And before you know it, OTAs will be here. Training camp will be here. Preseason will be here. And then finally, we get to see the Titans on the field. It's going to be exciting, so make sure you subscribe at Titans Today. I'm your host, Brett Alper. And as always, tighten up. Sorry.